Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to recover that 20-gallon long that I've been, if you follow me on Instagram, been complaining about because of the stupid dwarf Sagittaria. Now, first of all, quick updates on as the making of this video. Next week on July 21st will be the SCAPE meeting. It's going to be a big one, big raffle, huge auction, and I'm going to be there presenting, doing an aquascaping concept presentation. So hopefully that will go off well. And if you guys are in the area in Southern California, head on down there. It'd be awesome to meet you. It's in West Covina at CK Fish World. And another update is, the reason why I'm in this room right now is I'm going to reboot this room here. This area is like the dining room, and excuse the mess, it's a huge mess in here, right? That is the dining room area, right? What I want to do is change this into a aquascaping gallery, you know? So what I'm going to plan to do is take out all these shells right here and put 2 tanks here, maybe 40 gallon, and then on this corner here, another 40 gallon-ish. And then we are going, sorry if I'm going to make you throw up, reboot that 120 back there, right? We're going to clean it up, get it going, replumb it, because I want to actually run a sump on that and make it into a discus planted tank. So if you want to stay tuned for all that stuff, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Okay, and hit that like button if you like this video. I don't know, I have to say that, I don't know, it's a YouTube thing. So anyways, let's move on to talking about that 20-gallon long that I totally let go. This is the tank and it's in miserable condition. I just got tired of it because of those stupid dwarf Sag. It was all over the place. I've actually tested this out by pulling a bunch of it out of this side of the tank so that the fishies, poor fishies, have room to swim. Now all the hair algae is growing up because all the CO2 went out and I didn't bother refilling the CO2. I have this Phoenix going, and I also have that grow light going that was growing up AR minis. So we're gonna have to clean this sucker up. So first things first, let's just clean up the tank so you can see what's inside of it. You want softball size hair algae. This is how you get softball size hair algae. Like I said, I totally neglected this tank. So I haven't done a water change in this tank for maybe about 4 months. I don't know, whenever the last time I did a video on this tank, I haven't really done a water change. So we're going to have to do a lot of that too. Now, you see all this settlement that's just settled all over the hair algae. It just grabs that stuff and just clings onto it. It's crazy stuff. So we're going to make a huge mess here. So if you're a faint of heart, you might want to turn off this video. Now, dwarf Sag, I had a huge problem with dwarf Sag just overgrowing this tank and taking over other plant roots and stuff, mainly because I was pumping a lot of CO2, super high lighting in this tank, as well as just, it's a soil tank, so I didn't even have to bother giving it nutrients. So it was balanced in the sense that it just growing things fast, even Amazon swords and Java ferns, which I had to propagate into my grow out tank. So we'll just pull this stuff just out by the roots. Now when we do this, it's going to pull sand as well. The sand that I had cap on the substrate here. This stuff is just crazy evil. It just takes and grabs hold of the sand. We're going to have to go ahead and like recap this tank, which is not a big deal. Now a lot of people ask me, they're like, that can't be dwarf Sag because it's growing so long. Trust me, it is dwarf Sag. If you give it tons of CO2, tons of light, tons of nutrients, and that's the key, mainly nutrients and more than enough plentiful nutrients, this stuff will grow out of control. It got so bad that it was killing my other plants. It killed all my lobelias because it outgrown over its own roots and just pulled it out of the substrate and just got it floating, whatever. It was such a headache. So this is one of the reasons why I gave up kind of on this tank. I just kind of ignored it. But the time has come, we just got to pull everything out. We got to get rid of anything, even the roots. Unfortunately, it's going to be hard to do that. So over the course of the next month or so, I'm going to have to keep pulling stuff that I see that might be growing out of this. Now, since we got everything just going all over the water column, we'll just go ahead and start doing a water change now after a few months, which is not good. Don't do that. It's bad for you. Bad chunk. but we'll go and do this now. Now that we got half of the water down, let's take a look at what we have. At least the dwarf sage left the Amazon source, or actually they are Amazon compactus alone, as well as the Java fern growing on the driftwood. Now if you remember this tank, when I first started it, this is what we started with. Okay, with tons of highlighting, lots of CO2, all the nutrients coming from the soil that I put in this tank. It grew quick, it grew fast, okay, and when it was remaining balanced, this tank was just propagating Amazons and Java ferns and Anubias everywhere. So even though these plants are slow growing, you give it the optimal environment, it will grow like crazy. Okay, a few hours later, we had to wait because I couldn't just see anything in that tank. So a few hours later, about half a day, it cleared up a bit, or actually a lot, as you can see here. So we're going to go ahead and do some sage hunting, because now there's these little spurts that are hidden that I couldn't get to when I couldn't feel around for it. So we'll pull them out now. And while we're at it, we'll go ahead and just clean the glass a bit, just to get it nice and good looking. Now this is 2 days later. I waited about 2 days just clear everything out, just kind of like, let's see where we're at now and go ahead and continue with this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give it another 50% water change. Now this is important because there's just a lot of detritus around and we want to get rid of that stuff, and there's still stuff just landing on the leaves, so we'll clear that up too before we go to the next step. Now I noticed earlier that there's some dead Java fern leaves. We'll go ahead and prune some of the leaves out, as it's already really bushy as it is. So putting some of these dead leaves out would kind of just thin the herd a little, as you would say. Look, it's my Cory pandas. I haven't seen them in months. Okay, time to recap the substrate. So what we're going to use here is aqua quartz. This is the stuff that I saw Joey use, and it's great because you don't have to rinse it. It doesn't get cloudy on you like pool filter sand would. Now pool filter sand is way cheaper, but luckily I had a bag of aqua quartz sitting in my garage waiting for it to be used for some reason or the other. I guess this is a good reason. Now, I don't know why, but I find this extremely relaxing. It must be some kind of weird ASMR kind of thing. So we're going to pump up the music a little and just watch the sand flow. Okay, enough of that. Now, I'm probably going to go low tech with this tank now that we went high tech with it for about a year or whatever, had everything grown in. We really don't want to grow that fast anymore. So I'm going to go low tech. So what we're going to do, we're going to have to raise the lights a little. I'm going to keep the CO2 off. I'll use CO2 for another tank or what have you. So this is what we have now. We're going to go ahead and let it sit for a couple of days and we'll get back to it. Okay, so this is where we're at. This is a few days later now. There's still hair algae, but the tank's really imbalanced. So we'll go ahead and clean it up later. So what I'm thinking here is what to do on this end right here. The biggest problem here is it's empty. Now I used to have plants going back there. I think it was AI minis or whatever, but I think I'm gonna go with a more hardscape option. I asked on Instagram, and again, if you're not subscribed or following me on Instagram, check that out. It's the Waterbox Aqua. And I share some stuff on there once in a while in between videos and get some opinions and stuff. But anyway, so one of my followers said, do rocks somewhere along the same line of my thing is just do rocks and put Anubias on top. I think I'm going to do that. Just make it really simple, kind of just fill out this area right here. So that's what we're going to do right now. So first thing we do is take the Anubias that's on that rock here, and we'll take it out of the tank. I want to propagate this. This is grown in pretty good length for about 6 months. So for rhizome plants, you want to clip it in between where the stems are. And then for the rocks, we'll go ahead and use these rocks. These are rocks that I got from my office tank. We switched out the rocks there. I didn't, but the guy who takes care of the tank does now. And well, I have other words to say about that. But anyways, I try it out outside of the tank first, see how well it will fit. And then usually my thought process is, okay, I'm getting frustrated. Let's put this in the tank and see how easier it is to do there. So I did that. We put it in like this. Now the problem is I did not like how big the base rock was. It needed to be bigger. It didn't take enough space. So we went over and switched to this rock here, which I actually like much better. Now for this smaller rock here, I want it jutting out, just jutting up into the air. Just make it look really cool. And we'll go ahead and place the Nubius in that little nook area right there. And then the other piece of Nubius, I'm going to just go ahead and wedge between the two rocks there. It'll either grow into it, or I'm going to just tie it down or super glue it to another rock later. Okay, and that's it. There you have it. It's a little cloudy right now. I'll do a shot of it, a few hours later. Hopefully it'll clear up. But I switched out to a bigger rock only because it just looked too empty. And I like how it does this little alcove here. It has a little underneath a little hiding place or nook and cranny or whatever. It looks pretty cool. And then you got the Nubius going back there. The only thing I don't like is this area here, which is open. And we'll fill that out later. I just don't have much on hand to actually address that right now. So anyways, thank you for watching, and more updates on this tank and lots more updates coming on with what I'm doing over here in this area right here. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like this video and sub if you haven't already. I love you guys. Have fun with your tanks. I will talk to you in the next video.